Good morning, my beautiful friends. I am here in Mendocino County and I have been blessed to be able to sleep by the beach tonight. It was an incredible, relaxing night. I usually don't feel this way by the beach. I'm a forest girl, but maybe because the forest is right behind me and the beach is right in front of me, I feel just wow, just happy, calm, relaxed. And in this episode, before going back to the beach and trying to identify some seaweeds, I decided to talk to you about showers, taking showers. What happens to taking showers when you're in the wild, when you're in the forest, right? When you're spending weeks and weeks on the go, on the road. And I'm in a minivan, right? It's not a type of like a travel van with the bathroom and the shower. And I have been on the road for 7 days so far, and in between these 7 days, I actually come back to LA. I took a shower, but before that, I was for a week in the forest with my children and um, other groups of people that we were hosting camping trips for. So. I haven't washed my hair in a very long time with like soap and conditioner, and it used to be like a huge deal for me. Back in the day when I first decided to start driving out there into the forest for like prolonged periods of time, not coming back home and sleeping in my car and just traveling and learning, uh, that was one of the things that I was the most worried about. You should have seen me in Home Depot looking for a power generator to power my blow dryer. I literally know nothing about power generators and the input output. I was trying to figure it out. I went in there, I started asking around, and the salesperson who was showing me different generators, he's like, well, this one is very strong. I'm like, well, I need a very strong one, because I figured, the blow dryer, it has to have like what 1500-watt output, so you can't use like a tiny little power generator. So I wanted to get a big one just for my blow dryer, just so my hair looks good. And the guy was showing me around and he's like, well, this one can power out the whole house. And I'm like, oh, I probably don't need that. He's like, well, what do you need it for? I'm like, for my blow dryer. He was dying. But that's, one of the things that happens when you travel as a girl. I'm sure as a guy, you have short hair, you don't understand, and you're much easier with like washing up and cleaning yourself. With a girl, it's a little bit different. Those are the things that come to mind, especially if you're filming this, right? If you're like wanting to photograph yourself or take YouTube videos, appearance is important, all right? And not only for others, but for yourself. Like right now, I'm looking at the camera, I'm like, okay, I feel good, I feel confident, and I feel comfortable. When I wake up and my hair is all tangled and I'm all jammed, I don't want to film at those moments, and that's understandable. So but slowly and surely, I haven't washed my hair now, well, I told you, right, for like a week. And slowly but surely, of course, you get to this comfort zone with this appearance of with the look of your hair. And then aside from that, let me tell you a story also what I used to do. A little sidetrack here. My first trip, so I couldn't find the power generator for the blow dryer, so I decided, okay, well, I figured that rest stops have hand dryers, and those hand dryers blow warm or sometimes hot air. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna take a round brush. I have this round brush, and I would wake up early in the morning before anybody gets to the rest stop or before anybody on the rest stop wakes up, and I would run and I would like wet my hair in the sink. Or I usually have Mount Shasta water with me. I would like somehow wet it, and then go with this brush and stand under the hand dryer and make my hair straight and looking good. It was back in the day when my hair was this short. I believe a couple of years ago, when I first started venturing out onto my first like long trip was the Redwood Coast, when I just took maps and I was like, I'm not coming home for 5 days. I have all like these 5 days to just explore California, just to get to know the plants, to get to know. I really wanted to get to know the original nations and learn from them. And I headed up to Hoopa Reservation and other reservations right by the coast there, right by Klamath River. So yeah, we'll talk about that later, but it was a huge deal. But another interesting thing that is actually helping me, going with me on this thing, and this is something that this is just the way I am since I was very little. I don't like using soap on my skin. For some reason, I feel like it leaves film on it. I feel like my skin can't breathe, and this is something internal. This is an internal knowing that I've known for forever, for as long as I've been alive, that soap is just not good for your skin, that it strips it off things, and then you end up not clean. It's not cleaning anything. I always knew that cleaning comes from the inside. It starts with what you put in, right? So if you want to be clean and for your sweat not to smell, you need to eat clean food, right? I just know it because I'm super sensitive to all of this. The moment I eat something bad, my sweat starts to smell, and it's as simple as that. You just have to notice. So for me to travel and spend like 5 days in the car, sleeping in the car, and wandering around the forest, it was never a big deal because I've always been a clean eater. So I don't feel dirty. The dirt that comes from the forest, I don't consider it dirt, right? I don't want to wash it off. I don't care about it. Like my clothes, and of course now that I have my cat, I had to also get to a comfort point with the cat hair being all around. That was a tough one, but I'm finally completely fine with it. So a lot of like internal learning that's happening on these outings, on these trips. Not only learning about my immediate environment, which is completely interconnected, of course, with my internal immediate environment. And I think while getting to know one, I'm getting to know the other. And again, this is very philosophical and somewhat spiritual. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more later, but staying on the topic of staying clean while traveling. So there's many strategies, right? Like you can swim in a lake, or like freshwater lake or a river, and that just washes you off. You don't need soap. You don't need anything, because that water is actually clean. It's not like LA water that will leave you wanting to take another shower, right? If you don't use some sort of a chemical to take the other chemical off and only dry your skin. And notice that anytime that you're washing your hair with shampoo and conditioner in Los Angeles, it stays clean for how long? For one day, right? And then it comes back to exactly what it was. The reason being is that, let me explain it to you this way. When you're thinking, what can I put on to my skin, on my hair to make it better? Scratch that question and think, what can I let go of to make my hair better, to make my skin better, cleaner, right? What we consider to be cleaner. As soon as you start letting go of consumption of things that are not good for you, and I'm talking about food and information, right? Like stressful information. If you let it into your system, it will also cause dryness of your hair, brittleness of your hair, all the stress, right? It what's the right word? What about the word? It shows itself, right? Through your skin, through everything, through the appearance, through your physical appearance. But of course, then there is food. If you eat food that's full of chemicals and that your body is immediately trying to detox from the inside, then your sweat is going to smell. You're going to feel dirty. You're going to feel uncomfortable and smelly. But the moment you let go of all that, it's really not an issue. And the only time that I literally feel like I need to wash myself, meaning like full body and hair, is mostly when my hair starts looking like really, really muddy. I don't know how better to explain it. And that's when, you have creeks and lakes, and you're not really washing yourself, you're just swimming, and then you're coming out clean. Also, not eating bad on the road really helps, because you stay fresh and clean, and you're constantly aerated, because you're outside, you're outdoors, you're moving, and whatever little toxins are still present in your system, they're being released through skin. So you don't want to put anything on your skin. You don't want to put deodorant. You don't want to put anything. And I mean, some people, of course, will have a completely different understanding about it, but this is how I look at it. If I need to put deodorant, it's the first sign that I need to let go of something. If my sweat starts smelling, I don't think, oh, give me deodorant, because that's just masking the issue, like we do with everything in this life, right? Immediately, what comes to mind is, oh my God, what did I eat? What did I drink? And of course, bad habits like smoking, drinking, drugs, all of that will make you smell pretty terrible. So if you're into that, then at that point, you probably are going to also be using soap and deodorants and perfumes to cover things up. But the moment you let go of all that, you will realize that, oh, there is nothing to wash off, because what you're sweating out is actually roses. No, but there are other strategies for taking showers. For me personally, everywhere I've ever stayed, as far as like hotels or homes in Mount Shasta, I've always treated the place like I would treat my own place, right? I would never leave a room dirty if it's a hotel. I always clean it up. I always make sure everything is left like just the way I found it, so that the cleaning lady comes in and thinks, oh, thank God I don't have to do much. And one of the hotels where I stay with the communal kitchen, I always clean up the entire kitchen and I wash all the dishes. I know people leave them, and I'm like, I don't care. It's really not a big deal, I'm here. I'm blessed to be in this place, in this space, in this environment right now. So I'm going to keep it the way I would my house. And somehow, I've been doing this for years just because that's who I am. And somehow that translated into me developing these relationships with people who own these places that are actually very welcoming to me just coming to take a shower there. So they're always like, oh, here's the code. It just comes. So it's this, it actually refers to another topic, this richness that comes from inside, that comes from who you are, that I call it the infinite energy, the infinite engine that never stops, the true independency, which comes from, I'm sorry, I'm coughing a little bit. I hope this is not too distracting, but this infinite energy, this free energy that's generated by your actions, by your moral. And anytime you do a good thing, it comes back to you when you need it the most, right? Sometimes I'm like, okay, well, right now I really need to like take a shower, and how do I do it? And then I go and I see this person who owns this hotel, and they're like, oh, here's the code, just go, and it just comes in naturally, just because back in the day, or not back in the day I did something, but because I've been being myself when other people could not understand me. Like, oh, why are you cleaning up the room after yourself? Like, what is this? You're always trying to be so compliant, they called me, so by the rules. And I'm like, it's not by the rules. This is just me being me. This is how I would want others to treat me. And I get a lot of judgment, believe me or not, for that, for leaving the hotel room clean and still leaving a tip for the cleaning lady. People disagree strongly. They're like, what are you doing? You're overworking, you're overgiving. And later in life, when I started needing these little favors, like, maybe to use a kitchen or to use a shower, to use a bathroom sometimes, as a girl, sometimes you just can't not do that, right? And these things started coming back to me as these people just being like, oh, like, you are welcome here anytime. So that's another strategy. It's not to me, it was never a strategy, but I can see where it can, how it works now that I'm in it. So I recommend that wherever you go, make friends, be good to people, leave places clean, be responsible, don't leave dishes in the sink, don't leave things undone, and watch. It's going to come back to you and feed you. The energy that you put in will always come back and feed you right back. This is the infinite engine. This is the free energy. This is the true freedom, when you don't even need the money, right? Because if I was to go and rent a room, it would have been like $100, but I'm getting everything just for free, and people are just giving it to me, right? And you don't need money when you're have high morals. Oh, there's the most cutest baby there. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love children. I'm a little fairy. Oh, he fell. He's gonna be all right, buddy. Get up, get up. Good job. All right. So this is that energy that we're talking about. Everybody's searching for this free energy source. It's in your morals. It's in your actions. It's not a physical thing. For the longest time, I've been contemplating on like how to create a car that runs on water, or like car that runs on air, so that I can go places, so that I can be everywhere I want to be. I can explore nature, and it is such a big expanse, the gas, like, what do you do? I'm like, okay, one day I'll invent this thing. And then it dawned on me that we're looking for the wrong thing, that there is already this engine, this free energy engine that's present, and it's within you, within each and every one of us, that engine of good morals and good actions that always pays off. And you do something good here just from the pure heart, just because of who you are. Maybe you don't start there, but maybe you'll get there because you'll see that it actually works, right? Maybe you will have to force yourself to do something good for the time being, because you don't really feel like doing it, right? So it starts like that. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna be the better person, I'm gonna be the bigger person. And that's the big work, the grand work, right? Esoterically speaking. So you're internalizing, and sometimes you're doing an action that is not coming from a pure heart, but by actually connecting the two, you are creating an outlet for, or creating a connection, creating a pattern that afterwards will just become natural, right? So, and those good patterns, those things that you do, the footprints that you left behind you, they will be the footprints that will help you find your way around going forward as well, right? Everything is just contracting and expanding. I hope I'm not losing you here. I hope you understand what it is that I'm talking about. But everything that I've ever done out of pure heart and with good intentions has always come back to me exactly when I need it, and kept me moving when I thought that this is the end for me. This is the end. I can't do it anymore. I don't know how I'm gonna persevere through this obstacle. And contemplating on it, dwelling on it, but slowly moving there, and then getting there and realizing that help has been always there waiting for me. Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. But imagine that everything is you. And there is no far future or far past. Everything is here right now. And whatever you do in the past will affect your future. Well, we all know that, right? But whatever you do right now will also affect your past. So when you get there in the past, if you left yourself some good footprints, then your past self can see the way forward. So you gotta always, always, always take every step with knowing that your past self will benefit from it or might hurt from it. I hope you understand. Coming back to the soap. So I've been, in the forest. I spend a lot of time in the forest, most of my time in the forest or on the road, exploring, discovering, breathing, touching. I don't know how long this can last, of course, hopefully forever, because I feel like I belong. This is where I belong. But people who are joining me for a little bit in this type of lifestyle, for a couple of days or maybe a week sometimes, that's their biggest question, is how do we wash ourselves, right? How do we wash our skin? Or can we go into the lake with a little piece of soap and wash ourselves? I'm like, no, please don't do that. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, don't do that. And it's tough to understand, to explain that all the cleansing comes from within, comes from inside out. If you want to cleanse yourself, you got to sweat it out, right? Or not consume certain things in the first place. And you will see that you will not need the soap or anything to put on your hair, because it will naturally look good. And I'm not talking good how we are, how everything is presented to us right now. Like everything is so airbrushed and brushed and perfect and blow dried, right? No, there's a certain way our hair looks when it's just natural. Like I haven't washed my hair in over a week with shampoo and conditioner, right? And of course I haven't blow dried it, I just brush it. But last time I swam in the headwaters of the Sacramento River, where so we get the water at the top, and then at the there's the river goes, and you can take like cold plunges there. So that's where I was the last time, where I like went like this with my hair down the stream, doing a cold plunge, and I refreshed my hair. And of course it's not like anything you would see on TV, but it's beautiful. I don't find like it's a big deal, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I know that it's clean, even though it doesn't look like it looks on perfect pictures, right? I feel clean, I don't smell, and I haven't taken a soap. Soap I haven't used forever, but I haven't taken like a hot water shower in a week. And so these are the things that I have to share. Start from within. Start from what you're putting into your body. Avoid stressful situations. Avoid a bad foods, which are pretty much probably one and the same, right? When you're eating toxic it's equivalent in the mind space with this physical matter. It's equivalent to ingesting stressful thoughts, right? So if you get rid of one, the other will probably go naturally. So you only have to focus on one, right? You can either focus mentally on something and it will manifest itself in the physical, or you can let go through the physical, right, by letting go of toxic foods, and it will manifest itself as the thoughts that are coming in will start being clear and beautiful and calm and loving thoughts rather than stressful thoughts that will also affect the health of your skin and your hair. So that's strategy number one, right? Before going into nature, even if you have like bad habits, try to let go of them for a little bit and watch. You're not going to smell, nothing's going to be weird, you're not going to feel like you need to wash yourself aside from jumping off a waterfall or swimming in a freshwater lake or a river, right? That would be plenty. That will be very sufficient for cleaning yourself. Consider sweat lodge. Sweat lodges, we don't have sweat lodges, but banya, bathhouse, right? Detox from within. Keep your skin completely open and clean. Sweat, blood, and tears. That's how we cleanse ourselves. That's how we will let go of bad emotions and toxins within our body, not with soap. Sweat, blood, and tears. That's how that goes. But obviously nobody wants to bleed out, so let's put that one aside. But sweat and tears, you want to cry it out, let it go. You want to cleanse your skin, think deeper and sweat it out. Maybe run, sweat it out, and then rinse yourself with just water, because you're trying to get rid of something that if you're trying to get rid of something that makes you smell, it's definitely not it on top of your skin. You definitely, by washing something with soap, it's just that smell is going to come right back. Watch, by the end of the day it's going to be the same. With me, it doesn't happen. It's just, when I did consume bad things or had bad habits like drinking alcohol and whatever else things, my sweat used to smell. Now it doesn't. It smells sometimes a little bit, and that's when I know, like, oh, okay, time to either check in with my diet, what did I eat, or dive into a lake or jump off a waterfall. Or, in some extreme cases, go to one of the places where I know people that will give me the code to use the shower, which I'm very, very, very appreciative for and thankful for. And I know this is coming from me because of the actions that I took before to respect their places. And all right, I think this was what I was trying to tell you. I don't know, it's probably a lot. There's a lot more to come, just so you know. But don't be afraid to get out there and spend time in the nature without a shower, without soap, without things. People probably won't understand. A lot of people won't understand because they have a lot accumulated inside, and not washing themselves will really make them smell. And I do understand that. So that, just know that what I said, apply that, but slowly, right? So still find, maybe pay for the bathroom for the shower at KOA or something like that, right? It's probably going to cost you exactly the amount of what you would pay to stay at a campsite, but start taking steps on eliminating things from your diet that will free you up to move around, go sleep in your car, hike, and not have to worry about any of that. And that's true freedom. It's true freedom. It's not only freeing because you're not attached to the image of yourself, right, or to how you feel, but it's actually freeing because these problems, they just completely they become non-problems. They leave your space, your thoughts, your concerns, and you can pay more attention to other things like identifying plants and eating them. All right, I hope this was understanding and clear. Sometimes my thoughts are jumping from one place to the other because I have so much to say. I need to make a couple of episodes where I just release my my thoughts that have been wanting to come out. It's just that where I'm coming from, I am, and I'm not talking about my physical family or the physical place where I'm coming from, but it is a much broader space. How do I put it? We are not that we're not allowed, but it is not considered honorable to release things out there before transmuting them completely, right? So just as you receive a lot of pain from others and circumstances, I do too. And some things are more challenging than they should be because of where people are right now at this point in their evolution, right? Some things that they do are very hurtful, and sometimes I want to share how I feel and my experience of going through a certain trouble, and this internal knowing stops me from doing that, because I know that by speaking it, all I'm doing is spreading it. It means I wasn't able to transmute this pain or this challenge internally and give it to you as something beautiful, right? I couldn't take this poison that has been happening to me, transmute, and give it to you as beautiful berries or mushrooms or flowers. So that's why sometimes I focus only on other things, and you see me doing only these positive things, is because I took something really painful and I went into nature, and with the help of the environment, I was able to transmute it and show it to you like this. But however, what I do need to do is focus on the lessons that I've transmuted, right? What came out of it, what was given to me, and how did I what I put out. I feel like I can talk about that a little more so you understand and hopefully get inspired by what it is that I'm doing by being in nature and persevering through fear of doing what I love, actually going for it and doing it. And I've been dealing on the back end of it with a lot, including again a possibility of homelessness. But I don't want to give it to you in a form of like, oh, I'm a victim, or like this is happening to me, because everything I'm doing not just to myself. Things of course are happening to me, but my job is to transmute it and to show you the magic of what happens. And if only I wait long enough it always comes through. The magic always comes through. Sometimes I turn on the phone and I'm like, I just need to tell everybody what I'm going through, like how difficult it is, how challenging it is. But then all I'm doing is spreading that poison onto you. And what I want to do is spread hope, because when I wait long enough and when I work hard enough internally on that issue and externally by going through the steps and doing the thing that I need to do, because I know that I'm standing in my truth and there is nothing more than that to this life, is just standing in your truth. If I hold on to it long enough, it transmutes naturally into something beautiful. And then I'm like, oh, I don't even need to tell you all the troubles, because there are no more troubles, because I've transmuted them. They came back around as something beautiful. And okay, so that's what I'm going to try to talk a little bit more about experiences of transmuting some very, very painful situations, but after they've been transmuted, not during that, not while I'm still in pain and dealing with the internal turmoil of oh, why is this happening to me? Oh, bad things are happening to me. So just know that everything you see is what I've transmuted from something really, really challenging and made it into this thing. And this thing is real and it's not fake. These trips, breathing, watching, seeing, touching, learning, eating wild foods, all of this, it didn't just come, but it's here. And it's yours just as much as it is mine through these videos, hopefully. All right. This is what happens when I don't talk about these things a lot. Then one thing kind of like builds up on the other and the other and the other and becomes like probably very hard to understand, but I hope you do. I'm not going to dwell on making it palatable. Hopefully you grab one of my thoughts here and there and just run with it within your thoughts and allow it to unfold into something beautiful as well. I love you. I'm going to let's go to the beach and check out some seaweeds. I'm beginning to learn the seaweeds. I cannot forage at this beach, but we can still identify things and then find places where we can forage and forage there. So let's go ahead and do that. Now and out for now.